won't be criticized, so that you won't be challenged. Until today, your ancestors had to lower their heads and look down. They had to be dishonest about what they knew and what they wanted. You don't have to do that, because somebody paid your way already. But if you don't ask for it, it cannot be delivered to you. Black men, you are the pupil of the eye of humanity. You know, the pupil lets the light in and out. And when there's anything wrong with the pupil, my brothers, the entire light, the entire eye is in darkness. Black men, you are the energy that will allow light into the eye of humanity. The entire world is waiting for your energy. You are the light of the world. I gotta go over here for a second. I have another confession. You know, we have a son in prison. I say we because it takes a community to raise a child. So my son is your son. We have a son in prison. Actually, I call it God's retreat center. Because when you get still, you get back to God. So we have a son in prison. And I want to tell you a little bit about my son. See, my son is the only son born to anybody else in the universe. You all had boys. I had a son. And my son, the Savior, he was going to be everything to everyone. And I spent all his life telling him that. And to make sure that he got to be that, I spent all his life telling him what he couldn't do. Oh, no, you can't go out there and play with those little black boys on the corner. Oh, no, you cannot wear those sneakers to school. Oh, no, you can't play football and risk damaging your gorgeous face. Oh, no, you can't. Oh, no, you shouldn't. Oh, no, you won't. Look, I brought you in here, and I take you out. You do what I say do when I say do it. My way is the way. All his life. Until he was 18 years old. And the day after he was 18, poor baby, he got the hell out of my house. We were flying. He got out there so fast. And very shortly thereafter, he began engaging in activities that my son should not engage in. And he got arrested in every state along the eastern seaboard. He got arrested in New York, in New Jersey, in Pennsylvania, in Delaware. He would just go, and he would call me. See, it's real easy when you get arrested and your mother is a criminal defense attorney. So you know he never did it. Ma, they set me up, I didn't do it. And so then I would just run down and get him out. And I did that one time, I did that 2 times. And the 3rd time I said, wait a minute. This is a problem. There is something afoot here. But this is my son, the Savior of the world, my son. So, when he called me one day, I was so frustrated, I was so aggravated, and I said, how could you do this to me? Hello? Ma, I'm getting arrested, okay? How could you do this to me? Don't you know who I am? I'm Miss Iyanla, traveling all over the country, saving the world. And you dragging my name in and out of the penal institution. So you know what he did? The next time he got arrested, he used the alias. I told you he was brilliant. So finally, one day, I just surrendered him. I said, God, he's yours. You got it. And he called me, you know. And because I didn't go bail him out and because I didn't run down and defend him and do all that stuff, he was very angry with me. And he called me on the phone one day and he said, "It's all your fault." Well, just pick my brain off the kitchen wall. I said, "What do you mean?" "It's all your fault that I am the way I am." That's what I said. Come on, y'all, breathe. Every mother in the room, her heart just sank. You know, but before I went into my drama, heaving my breast disease and doing the black woman mother thing, you know, I heard a pain in my son's voice that I knew I had to listen to. And on this day, in my kitchen, I talked to this male child that I had brought onto the planet. He said, "Ma, you spent so much time telling me what I shouldn't do. You never told me what I could do." He said, "Ma, your fears for me were not the fears that I had for myself. And the things that you wanted for me were not the things that I wanted for myself." He said, "Ma, you wouldn't even let me think. You dressed me until I was 14 years old. You were so afraid that I was going to wear checkered pants and a striped shirt and the neighbors would talk about you. You never even let me speak." He said, "Ma, you made me responsible for your well-being. How many times did you tell me I was going to give you a heart attack? I was making you sick, that I was upsetting you." He said, "Ma, I don't need to be responsible for your well-being. It's too much for a kid to handle. All a kid needs is some cookies and milk. And they need to know that you love them. And you can tell them that without badgering them all the time. Ma, you gave me enough rope to hang myself. And when I did, you criticized me. You criticized me. It was never enough. It was never good enough." He said, "Ma, the one thing I needed from you, you couldn't give me. Ma, I needed to know what it feels like to be a man. And you couldn't give me that." I said, "Damon, all I can do is ask you to forgive me. And tell me how I could have done it differently." He said, "Ma, you could have been my friend. You could have let me talk to you. You could have seen who I really was and talked to me about that instead of seeing me as you wanting me to be and trying to change it." He said, "Ma, all you had to do was be my friend. You gave me the foundation. You gave me a culture. You gave me a tradition. You gave me a way to God." He said, "But you never let me develop a way to feel about it." Black women, we gotta let these boys go. We gotta let them go. Because there's a piece of their soul that we know nothing about. There's a piece of life that we can't give up. And what happens to us black women is the energy of our grandmothers who remember the vision of her son hanging on a tree rises up in our blood, and we squash those boys because we're so afraid that the police are going to hang them, or the gangs are going to hang them, or the drugs are going to hang them, until we stifle the energy in their being that needs to grow. Mothers, pray for the sons, but let them go. And when you see those ugly ways, don't make excuses for them. Confront them right then. Mothers, pray over their heads when they're sleeping. Mothers, bless their feet before they go out the house. Mothers, you are so powerful. Don't you know you can cook the instructions in the grits and